Howdy everyone, we're Sarcy here, and we're going to be looking at an Xbox game today. And that Xbox game is DayZ, which has been out on the PC for years, and I only just recently saw that it had finally come to the Xbox One. And just before even looking at the game itself, I can already tell you that it's not worth a $40 price tag. It just isn't. And that's without even reading the reviews from everyone else on the Xbox Marketplace that just give it absolute crap. But those aside, let's get into it for me because I downloaded the 1 hour trial. They have a free 1 hour trial where you can download the game and play it for an hour. And I'm going to tell you how it's been for me. So starting off right away, I was able to actually get into a server quite easily. It didn't take long at all. It took like a minute or so for the actual game menu to load up, but then you get in the game quite easily. And if you have a trial, you actually start with some weapons. You have a handgun with one with one clip of ammunition, and you have like a loot satchel with a water bag and or water bottle and some ammo, and that's about that for that. But getting on its actual games, I was amazed with how well it actually ran for the Xbox One. It runs pretty good. When I actually first got in the game, I was like, "Holy crap! Am I actually playing this on an Xbox One or am I playing this on a PC?" It just ran that good when I first got in there, and I know that part was when I spawned. I think I spawned somewhere in the middle of nowhere, so there wasn't a whole lot to load in. But still, damn, it ran smooth. There are some times where it does drop in frames a little bit, but it never drops to unbearable levels of playing. And most of the time, especially when you're just out and wandering, it'll run darn near perfectly. And I was quite amazed with that. And that's the base Xbox One model, not the X. So it probably runs even better on the X, but I don't know because DayZ, as I've heard it, and as I used to play it on the PC years ago, is it was never too good in that department, especially with the crashes it had, which it says that it is bound to crash, but in my hour of playing, I had no crashes at all. But I did have glitches happen to me, which I will get into that in a bit. But getting back onto the game, if you have the trial version, it says it'll also spawn you closer to players, so fights will more likely occur. But throughout the whole time I was playing, I did not encounter a single player. It was just me. I encountered some zombies, some of which even looked like players, like almost identical to my player model. And I took them down quite easily, especially considering the fact that they give you a handgun to start out with. But that's all. Oh, and another thing I might mention is if you were playing the trial version, if you log out, you don't get to keep your items. So if you like log out and go back to the menu and then you rejoin, it's basically a way to reset your character and respawn somewhere else. If you respawn in the middle of nowhere, if you spawn in the middle of nowhere and you don't like respawn, you can just quit and then rejoin and you'll have a whole new character. But I mean, it's not like you're really losing much anyways if you respawn. So man, I never found too much good loot anyway. But yeah, the game looks good and the game runs good considering original base Xbox One model. Like I said earlier, there have been some glitches that I encountered, one of which actually basically killed me, and I'm pretty sure that it was probably in the PC version too, but I'll mention it anyways. The climbing ladders and such isn't the best. Like, as you'll probably seeing now, climbing a ladders, you have a chance of climbing not directly on the ladder, but further out. That way, when you actually reach the top, you'll drop down and die. That's what I had happen to me. So there's that. Another thing I'd like to mention is when I started off, it was a pain in the ass to learn the controls. I don't know if it was just that way for me, of my stupidity, but it was actually kind of pissing me off with how difficult the controls were at first, because I kept trying to equip a backpack that I saw on the ground, and it kept putting it in my hand and making me drop my gun instead. I found that you actually have to go up into the top of your inventory where it's actually showing the clothing item slots, those small icons. And you actually have to drop you actually have to drop your backpack, whatever you have on your backpack, whatever you have on your shirt, shoes, or pants, to be able to equip another pair. What did get a little bit irritating, but overall the controls on the Xbox One version, they're difficult to learn, but they fit in well with the Xbox One. You have all of your emotes in one section of the D-pad, like waving, putting your hands up, stuff like that. And you have the quick tab to quickly access your gun. So far, all I've seen is the one for the handgun and 2 different bullets. I don't know how you actually set those tabs to quickly access any other weapons. But overall, it feels comfortable to play on the Xbox One. It runs well, as I've said before. It runs well. It looks well, and it, other than glitches that I'm pretty sure exist in the PC version as well, it plays well too. But as I've previously mentioned, I don't think it's worth the price that it's currently charging. I really don't, especially with how old it is and how unlikely it ever is to actually get complete, considering how many years it's been going for and how it seems like the game had been abandoned, especially considering how many years ago they said, oh, they're having a Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 version released, and with how little people play it, considering I'm pretty sure that I could go on one of my other profiles, I could play another hour of the trial and still not encounter anyone. It's just that little people playing. I just don't think it's worth that full price, and even on sale, I'd say it'd have to be at very most worth $20 only. Now, like I said, it's available for a free 1 hour trial on the Xbox One. I don't know if this game is on the PS4, and I don't even care to find out because number one, I don't have a PS4, and two, I simply don't care about the PS4. So if you wanted to find that out for yourself, go ahead and look it up. But right now, all I can say is that it's available on the Xbox One, and you can get a free 1 hour trial of the game. So if you have an Xbox One, it's worth giving it a try. See if you like it, to see if you feel it's worth it. Because if it were cheaper, I'd probably get it. I had the PC version, both the mod and the standalone, and I liked it. I used to play it all the time. And if the price was just cheaper, I'd say that this version would probably be worth it, but at this current price, it's not. So, if you want to be able to give it a try, maybe if you have any alt accounts, you could just continuously, you could just use them and basically get more hours out of it, because really, there's not even achievements or stats or anything for this version of the game, so it'd basically be like you have it somewhat. But anyways, I personally think I need to play around with it a little more with my other account to see, for me at least, whether or not it's worth purchasing, or if I just want to wait for a sale, which I'm not sure that it'll ever get a sale or not, but you can always hope and pray that it will. So I'll be playing it for a little bit longer. In the meantime, I'll leave it to you to decide whether you think it's worth the price tag or not, or whether you want to wait for a sale or you'll just pass on it. But either way, the trial is there waiting for you. So this has been War Sarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'll see you all later.